Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is Amontazar from the Chicago camp coming back at you again with part two of Another Woman's Marriage. All right. All right, so in part one, we talked about Miss Kitty J. Rose and how she got it wrong. We went through the video where she rebuked this woman for, she calls it stepping into their marriage, another woman's marriage, because they had a social media forum where they were talking about side chicks. All right, so the woman admitted to being a side chick, and Kitty rebuked her and told her she had a demon on her, implying that she was doing something evil and unholy. Okay, and she made a statement. She said that if you read your Bible and you got into these scriptures, you would know, and you would be convicted. Okay, and then she starts talking about her walk, okay, her walk with the Lord. She said that she fears the Lord, okay. She talked about how she fears the Lord. But at the end of the first lesson, I told you that the Lord, okay, the Lord put indicators, okay, he put indicators. The Lord is the Father. um, Yahweh is the Father of spirits. All right. So he knows the spirit of man. He knows the spirit of woman. Why? Because he created them. All right. So he knows the weaknesses of man and women. All right. And the Lord put indicators. All right. Physical manifestations of certain spirits. Okay. So what I told you to do was look at her dress, look at her hair and the big earrings and her eyelids and her lips. All right, her attire, her tight fitting clothes, all those things are indicators. All right, so this is Sirach 26 and 9. It says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Okay. All right. So a woman thinks in her mind, oh, I'm just making my eyes look a certain way. But in fact, she's doing it because it's tied spiritually, all right, to her whoredom. Sirach 19 and 29, same thing with a man. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance. All right, so you can tell when a man has wisdom and understanding by the way he look. And it says, when thou meetest him. It says, a man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. You see a man walking, you can tell by his walk he got a little sugar in him. All right. He got a little sweet and low in him, a little honey in him. You can tell. So whether it's a man or a woman, the Lord puts certain indicators. All right. Now let's look at this other short. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at this other short that's on the internet. I didn't put it there. All right. It was there already. All right. I'm just showing you. Let's take a look. Same earrings. You see the man is all embarrassed. You see the look on his face. She said, "I be eating ass." That's what she said. She said, "I be eating ass, and I like men to pee on me." She said something about that stream hitting. I can only assume, she's saying something about that stream hitting. This is all rated R. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? You see, the Lord says the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, because the Lord don't miss. All right, let's look at these dumbasses on the comment board. Okay, because you got a whole group of people that actually agree on with everything that was coming out of her mouth. There is a difference in believing in God and fearing God. Shut up. People better stop playing with God. He is in control of it all. I fear God. I know what he can do. Shut up. She gave me chills. She told her right. Shut up. She's so right because all this stuff that's going on today is because people don't fear God anymore. Shut up. She gangster for God's glory. Now, that just sounds stupid, George Bryce. She got spiritually checked. You see this? See, these people spiritually checked. These people think this is entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is serious. Okay? We tearing down the walls of Christianity out here. And y'all think it's entertainment. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Well, that's true, but not coming from her. Facts. She spoke the truth. That side chick got smoked and had the nerve to stand up and say that. See that? He said the side chick got smoked. So, like, her response was some kind of entertainment. That's what I'm trying to say. Perfect response. You cannot serve two masters. Shut up. Every single time this woman speaks, is fire. Shut up. Mark 10 and 9. What therefore God have joined together, let not man put asunder. Shut up. And lastly, Miss Kitty is speaking the raw truth. There is never a right way to do wrong. The husband in this situation is using a side chick as a band aid. The husband also has to take responsibility and letting someone into the institution of marriage. Miss Kitty, so proud of you. You speak words that need to be spoken. You see, all of these people are through. Okay, them and their comments and their understanding. Jeremiah 4 and 22 says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children," means stupid. And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them." All right. And the God of this world is Esau Edom. All right. With his philosophies and his Christianity. Okay. Which got people thinking in the wrong way in the first place. All right. So now we just get into the meat of the lesson right here. Here's the question. I said I had questions for Kitty, and I also had a super question. So here's the question. She said the woman needed to fast to get that demon off her for stepping into another woman's marriage. Did the following women have demons on them? Were they in sin when they gave other women to their husbands? So let's start with Sarah. Genesis 16 and 3. And Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. All right, so Sarai, who later her name was changed to Sarah, she gave Abram or Abraham, right? She gave him her handmaid to wife. Okay, that's where Ishmael comes from. All right. Hebrews 11:11. Okay, Sarah is memorialized for her faith. It says, "Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised." All right. So through faith, Sarah conceived, all right, and brought forth Isaac. All right. But before that, she gave her handmaid to Abraham. All right. How about Rachel? Okay. Jacob's wife. Right. Genesis 30 and 1. All right. It says, and when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I in God's stead? Salakia, who have withheld from thee the fruit of the womb. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. Okay? So was Rachel in sin as well? Was Rachel in sin? Was she doing something unholy when she took her maid servant or handmaid and gave her to her husband to wife? You see? So Kitty, the name of this lesson, okay, the name of this lesson, let's go back to it. The name of this lesson is Another Woman's Marriage. Okay? So the question is, are uh these women, are they infringing on another woman's marriage? Are they sinning? Okay? That woman was told that she had a demon on her, okay, for sleeping with a married man. Okay? So Rachel and Leah were married to Jacob, and they gave their handmaids to Jacob to wife. All right, here's Leah, Genesis 30 and 9. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. You see that? You see? So if the women were in sin, these men of the Lord, were they in sin as well? Okay? Was Abraham the father of our faith? Was he in sin? Was Jacob in sin? Of course not. That's why I say Christianity and the Bible don't have nothing to do with each other. All right? But Kitty said that if she would have been in her word, she would know better. All right, but she said she had a demon on her. How was it that Hannah shared a husband? Okay, Hannah is the mother. Was the mother of Samuel. All right, the prophet. This is First Samuel 1 and 1. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zoph, an Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto Yahweh of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priest of the Lord, were there. All right, so here you have a man of the Lord, all right, doing his service every year, bringing his wives. Okay, so which wife was infringing on the other wife? And where is the evil? Where he's not put out the church for doing something unholy, and something so wicked and evil? Which wife was infringing on which? How did Gideon have 70 sons? Judges 8:30. And Gideon had 70 and 10 sons of his body begotten. All right, so a score is 20. 70 would be 60 and 10. Okay, 70 and 10 would be 70. All right, Gideon had 70 and 10 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. All right. So Gideon had many wives and he had a concubine. It's right here in the Bible. Okay. So here's the super question. Why did Yahweh admit to giving David his master's wives, plural, and then rebuke him for committing adultery? All right, so if you're familiar with the story of King David, okay, um, he committed adultery, okay, and he slept with Uriah's wife and then tried to cover up the pregnancy by murdering him, okay, basically withdrawing men from the front, putting them on the front line, and then withdrawing men from them. So the prophet Nathan came, all right, to rebuke him. And when he told the story, he told a story of a rich man, all right, and a poor man. Rich man had many sheep, many lambs, many sheep, and the poor man had one as if it was his own family. Okay, when the rich man had a guest, instead of taking one of his many sheep and feeding his guest, he came and stole the poor man's sheep. Okay, and it enraged David, and he said, Nathan wanted to know what should be done with that man, and David said he should be put to death. Okay, in 2 Samuel 12:7, and Nathan said to David, "Thou art the man. Thus the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, I anointed. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon." So King David displeased the commandment of the Lord when he committed adultery and murder. Okay? King David already had wives before the Lord gave him Saul's wives. All right? So having multiple wives is not adultery. Okay? Sleeping with someone else's wife is. All right. Sirach 23:18, it says, "A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, Who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins." Okay? So it is a sin to break wedlock. You see? Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Behold, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. All right. So here it is. It's right here that breaking wedlock is a sin. Okay. So how would the Lord tell David that he gave him his master's wives if it was a sin? That makes no sense. Isaiah 4:1 is coming whether you not heads like it or not. Okay? So you can get on these forums and you can talk about side chicks and you can talk about adultery and talk about cheating. All right. And none of it means anything. Okay? Because the word of the Lord is going to stand. All right. Isaiah 4:1, it says, "In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." Okay. So in that day, 7 women are going to be um, falling over themselves to be with a man of the Lord. The Lord Yahweh is the one who teaches us what is holy and profane. Okay. We don't need Kitty to do that, because Kitty has proven that she don't know the difference. All right, she like eating ass and she like being peed on. Sirach 18:3, "Who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will, for he is the king of all, and by his power dividing holy things among them from profane." Okay, so the Lord knows what the Lord knows what's holy, and He knows what's profane, and He teaches us through the scriptures. All right. So He didn't have these women give other women unto their husbands, and it was a sin. Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Okay, so this is Yahweh Shai in Matthew 25:1, saying that the kingdom of heaven is likened unto 10 virgins, all right, which took their lamp and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Not bridegrooms, one bridegroom and 10 virgins. Why would the Lord, okay, liken the kingdom of heaven into something that was adulterous and unholy? All right, and in closing, 100 wives minimum and immortality. Matthew 19:27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. All right? So a minimum of 100 wives, right? And immortality. Okay? You lose a wife in this truth for whatever reason, you're going to have a minimum of 100 wives and immortality. All right? So you women, okay, and you Christians, you really just really need to STFU. And you know what that means. Okay? All right? So let's go back to the top. This has been Another Woman's Marriage, part 2 of Another Woman's Marriage. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.